Elon Musk is said to have done an interview with Jesse Waters that said that the massive fraud at Doge, or that Doge is finding, is crazy. He said it's crazy. Let's go ahead and get into that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
We met the whole crew, even big balls, and they showed us how Doge really gets done. We sat back, listened, and we learned a lot, and we hope you do too. Here's part one of our exclusive interview. Elon, thank you so much for bringing us to the meeting here. I'm going to do something no anchor ever does. I'm not going to talk.
What?
For as long as possible.
You're talking right now.
I'm going to let you run your meeting, and then I'll interrupt when I'm bored. So take it away.
So, like a board meeting?
Like a board meeting. Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess we normally go around the table, say what do we get done this week?
Wait, this way?
Sure. No, we start with you.
Sure. So actually, a lot of great work in the Treasury this week. One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury is that when a payment is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts, there was formerly not a budget code on there. So if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything.
Yeah.
There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education, and there was no receipts required. So people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us, they found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out stadiums, et cetera. And so the one change that Doge made with Department of Education is we had the simple requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so,
yes,
nobody drew down any money anymore.
Yes, but
That's insane. That is insane. That is genuinely insane. That is crazy. So people were able to draw down on the money to use it for whatever it is that they wanted to use it for, over $4 billion? That's crazy, bro. Now you see why these Democrats and why these people are so angry that Doge is going in and finding all of this fraud.
we didn't say that we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything. And but as soon as we asked for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Huh, that's interesting.
They were renting Caesar's Palace.
Yes, they were like basically partying on the taxpayer money.
Stadiums.
Yes.
Leasing stadiums.
Leasing stadiums.
For what?
For parties, basically.
For parties.
Yes.
That's a big party.
It's a big party.
You'd think if you were stealing, you'd start small.
They do start small. But then what happens is over the years, so generally the fraud starts out small and they try to hide it. But then year after year, if nobody stops the fraud, it gets more and more brazen. And every year it gets bigger until they're literally renting out stadiums. Like
$1 million to rent out a stadium?
Fraud in flagrante delicto, okay? We're talking at scale.
This is driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
When you find these things, do you guys get mad? Or do you like, yes, I got one? How does it make you feel?
It's so common.
It's so common. I mean, you just get
numb to it.
Like, unfortunately, like the 100th time you heard it, it's hard not to get a little numb.
Yeah.
You know, but like.
That's crazy, bro. That is insane. So you're basically telling us that the biggest fraudsters, the biggest abuse that is happening is basically our taxpayer dollars going out the window and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Look, bro, you know how you like see certain things, or you see people say stuff like, oh no, man, the wealthy, they don't say nothing. This is why they don't say nothing. What you think all of these people got rich because they created a business? No. These people ain't getting rich because they created a business. They getting rich because they was in the right rooms with the right people that allowed for them to steal from the American taxpayers. Bro, for so many years, so many people have stolen so much money. How can you be a public servant? How can you be somebody that works for the federal government and get rich? Like, that's not confusing to y'all. Nobody ever stopped and said, wait a minute, why are all of the Congress people rich? Why are they so dedicated? Why are they so, if these people are millionaires, Congress people and stuff like that, didn't come in that way, but if these people are truly millionaires, how? How do you become a multi-millionaire making 174, and that's how much they're making now. How do you become a multi-millionaire and make 174,000? All they doing is what the mob did with the Teamsters unions and the unions that they set up in order to establish Vegas and stuff. Man, these people are evil, 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 evil.
I just got paid $60,000 for my car crash from using this app on my phone. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's called the K.
Evil.
Alright. If you're surprised by this, it's because you're still in the matrix. Either by choice or by ignorance, you're still in the matrix. The way the world is going, it's clear that criminals are leading it. They've made it clear they don't care about the people. It's obvious that they're pinning the people against each other. Y'all gotta wake up. And I understand how difficult that could be, right? Because I chose to take that red pill before I even knew what it meant. I knew to disassociate from the matrix before I even knew anything about it, just simply because I recognized that my environment was toxic. And before I even understood what was going on, I was getting attacked in all type of ways. People talking about me behind my back. Females that I knew had love for me would turn on me. And it was confusing because I was like, because I could see the real, genuine interest. But because I'm not moving a certain way, they disconnect. Same thing with all the friends and all the fake friends and all that, because that's ultimately what it meant to me. If you can't even communicate to me about why you moving the way you moving, you know you wrong and you're doing it anyway. But I didn't know how much of an influence over the world those toxic ways had until I decided to disassociate from the hood, right? Because once I realized all my friends in the hood was not real friends, and I started understanding how the streets operate, I was like, man, y'all not in control of y'all lives, man. You're not moving with integrity. You poisoning your people. And back then, it wasn't. I was multicultural. You know what I'm saying? I viewed black and white and all other races as the same, right? It wasn't no just my race versus the rest of the race. I view everybody. I felt like everybody was in the same boat. But I knew that if you was not moving with integrity, you was not in control of your life. And that right there alone gave me the strength to go against it, right? To disconnect from it. And that meant being alone a lot. That meant losing a lot of, or of attracting a lot of negativity from others. Secret attacks, talking behind my back and all this crazy shit. Losing jobs. Even when I left the, cause I grew up, school was not important in my household. I grew up with a mother who could barely read or write, let alone teach me how to get through school. And the only people I was associated with was either doing drugs or selling drugs. So I was right there in it, right? And I came very close to being stuck in it. Had it not been a case where me and my mother was about to get evicted and my auntie decided to step in and let us move in with her, did my life start going in a more positive direction, because she forced me to get a job. And from there, I went to Job Corps, got a trade and all this type of stuff. And I started seeing the business aspect. I was like, okay, the hood is messed up. I know that, right? What about the business world? Will I find like-minded people in the business world? No. Bunch of criminals and people that are not in control of their lives there too, moving without integrity. I'm losing jobs, don't know why. Seems like the world is against me, literally. And I held my ground because I knew I did nothing wrong. Social media is when I started realizing I wasn't alone. Because then I started seeing people speak out against the system. And I seen what they had to go through for doing so. It has always been a struggle, and I expect it will continue to be. But for me, life is bigger than just me, right? I want to have a purpose. I want to live with purpose. And I want to be remembered for something good. And I do believe reincarnation is real. So when I return, I want to return in a better world. And I cannot expect to return to a better world if I did nothing in my past life to contribute to creating a better world. Because to me, the spiritual realm is the real realm. That's what matters. I don't believe death. We die here, we come back. As long as, I don't know the rules and regulations behind selling your soul, but I know you shouldn't. I know you shouldn't. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you it's too late to redeem yourself once you do that. I personally don't believe. I believe we walk the path. We all got our path cut out for us, right? When you don't know better, how can you do better? And so a lot of people out there selling drugs to the people, doing their people dirty. They think they moving how they supposed to move. But when they realize that that's not the case, do they have the strength to make that change? That's when their true self reveals itself, right? Do you have the strength to turn your life around and become who you was meant to be? Because a lot of times we'll go through that stuff because it was necessary. That experience was necessary so we can become strong and serve for the greater good in the way that we was meant to serve. So I was never judgmental of others, right? Had I been stuck in that hood probably would have turned me into a hateful person, and I probably would have ended up dead or in jail. It was coming close to that point. Had I not received that shift when I did. And so when it's time, when you know deep down it's time to make that change, don't fear it, man. Live your life the way you're meant to live your life, with no fear. So long as you know you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. And there should be no regrets for that. If you die knowing you die knowing that you did great. And you earn your respect where it matters. These people are stealing. They're literally sucking the life out of the community intentionally. They don't care nothing about none of you. They make that very clear. Just like some people sit up there and say it's an abusive relationship. You don't stay in no abusive relationship. You get the hell on. Regardless of the benefits that relationship offers, you gotta cut it off. Regain your independence. Connect with like-minded people and y'all work together and do whatever it is you gotta do. If you gotta go back to growing your own food, you need to do that. If you got to grow back to building your own homes, you got to do that. Money is just a tool. You don't need it. Your kids don't need it. It's just a tool. Look at the people, the great inventors in Africa who their living conditions, yet they're still inventing self-driving vehicles, self-powered vehicles, creating self-powered TVs, creating robotics from scrap yards. All this stuff they're doing over there with no money, with little to no money. You gotta make a change, man. Your kids' future depends on it. And for the youth, the next generation that's listening to this, understand if your parents are not supporting you on this, man, you gotta hold them accountable for one. Call them out on the BS. I mean, you ain't necessarily got to, because you don't want to put yourself, you don't want to. If it's in you to call your parents out, you need to do that. Hold them accountable. If they sitting up there trying to BS you, trying to manipulate you like a lot of parents these days do, and then turn around and try to say, oh, I did that for your greater good type stuff. Nah, don't go for that. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Hold them accountable. And move accordingly. Because things are only going to get worse if people continue to operate within this system. If you have the opportunity to get your own land, grow your own food, or any type of independence you can possibly get for yourself, you need to be working towards that. And trust in the process, man. Believe in yourself. Believe in the Most High. Believe in your spiritual team. Know that you're not alone. Even if you just only have your higher self to listen to, right? Trust yourself.